Sie was packen.
Hello and welcome back again here at Tribun, where we are going to present you the board game Tribun, which is a tactical board game. And I've said board game a lot, come to think of it. Now, today's game is called Mustang, as it has to do with horses, which are pretty and cool, and I think we should get right into it. And before that, though, if you like this game or are curious about it, we have tutorial videos and we have a website with all of the things that you need to build it at home, and especially like manuals and stuff. It's called tribun.org, Tribun, and then .org. So if you're curious,
A tribun.
Hmm?
A tribun. 3
oh yeah.
little breads.
So, just you know,
Not really.
let's jump into it.
Yeah, we're already in. Wait. The music is a little loud. I turn it down. And yeah, again, it was a game against my dearest coworker Niels. If you watched the episode last week, I really had to take revenge because he smashed me with the hydraulic press. And see, Niels is, he's becoming quite belligerent, forming
This is like a very common thing. You look at this archer, and then you have this spot also.
Exactly, and I'm going for something similar.
But you go for gray hexagons instead of the enemy color.
And by the way, the time format was that I have 0 time on the clock. Here is 30 seconds because I already forgot to drain the clock beforehand. So I will do it at some point in the game, but I already fixed this issue, so if we are going to play the next time, we go here to 1 second left, and he had 12 minutes in the tank, so we equalize the game a little.
Yeah, and speaking of equalizing, the opening is a very interesting place to start because there's no clear ideas what you should do or shouldn't, and so you see a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of new approaches, especially as in the beginning usually you don't clash with your opponent.
Yeah.
So I personally am a fan of like big stuff, like 4 high units and 3 high units, which are archers and riders. But I also like this. It's like you want to create a few 2 high units here. So
Yeah. They are very formidable in defending the structure, and what you really don't do in the beginning is forming a ballista, let's say, 6 high unit. It's very powerful, but it needs a little space to maneuver, and in the beginning you just don't have it.
we had stuff like that already on the board.
Yeah, but you can very easily thwart in this approach by just blocking the way or stepping out of the way, and then this ballista has no clue what to do.
Yeah, but it has happened nevertheless.
Yeah, it is possible.
Now this is also very common, but usually only when you're attacked. Because you usually don't want to move this out of the way. It's a very useful defense, especially for these 2 Hastadai, which are spearsmen.
And now I can go for the honeypot.
Yeah.
Just attack.
Usually, the worst attacker of a unit is an attacker that's 1 less, because then only 1 piece remains, which is barely functional at all, and the opponent does not have to move. And so you usually don't want to put big things in front.
Yeah, now he's on the run, and I can try to, just pressure him, and at the same time develop my structure. Regroup. Yeah, this is a symmetry I wanted to build up. And let's see if... Yeah, many things opened up as this one little slave moved. And he's going, this is a good move. Because so I just cannot focus on what I wanted to do. But maybe I can. Because this is not just attacking, but at the same time defending. So it's interesting. It's already very interesting in the beginning. But he keeps the diagonal. And yeah, now it's necessary for me to... What? Sorry, what did you...
I think this is a good decision, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Diagonals are usually nice.
Yeah. Yeah, now and... Yeah. But, you know... He could, at any point, throw this in. And now he is pressuring me. It's a really a back and forth game in the development phase already. That's very nice.
Yeah, and later on in the game, we will see a pattern where you try to evaluate which color is best for you to attack and defend, which is very important. But currently, this is very balanced, I'd say, and here too we have a lot of pieces on the same color. So these fight for black, gray, and white respectively, so that's all good.
Yeah, you have to not just scatter your pieces randomly, you have to build up a strong defense so that there is no real entry point. See, this move, he forced me into it, and it's not quite a good thing to split up into these one-high units. The slaves are... Sometimes they are good in defense and in offense, but in the midfield they are completely useless usually.
Actually, come to think of it...
You moved back. Okay.
Perhaps this would have been a nice idea, to pressure this one.
Yeah, but he can go here first.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
And that's what I wanted to prevent, so I had to keep this closed.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from.
And it's already quite loose. I'm just protecting here with 2, and this one is just protected by this one. It's already a little, you know...
It's a little bit suspicious, but nothing too bad, I'd say. So
Yeah,
now you just force the issue on black. This has to move somewhere, perhaps, because you're threatening to take it all with one piece, which would suck. So that you see, this is like red.
Yeah, why is it? For all you do not know the rules in particular, in Tribun you can have combined attacks, so you have... What do you have? You have one attacker, red circle, and you have a second one. And now you can decide if one of those carries out the attack or if they work together. So you have five attack points in total, and this is way enough to kill a 2-high unit. So put it aside, and now you decide whether this or this takes the field to occupy, and usually you just shove the small pieces forward.
And so, you know, your co-worker just walked back, which is a very sensible thing to do here.
Yeah.
And now it's a possible combination field. It opened up. It was protected before, but now
I mean, this is okay, but I now see, I had time trouble. 20 seconds to think the move by all the possibilities on the board and moving the pieces. This can be very, very time consuming. Well, but I was thinking about what if I took here? He would take 2 and I could damage this archer And as you pointed out before, he's very crucial. Yeah. Here, now he can take 2. And I do not take this entirely, but damage the structure. And this is already a little bad. Because now this is weak.
And especially
Weaker than
this
before.
one is a neat target, so
Yeah, now here could be the first ballista on the board, maybe, or this.
there.
Yeah, some
So
ideas.
this could be interesting and
Yeah,
something to think about.
yeah, but
For
I didn't
sure.
do it. I forced the issue here on this side, and he gets closer. This is interesting, but already this one separated from the group. And usually you do not win the war with one soldier. I'd say this is already not a particularly good move.
Yeah. Well, if you can get rid of this, you can do some nasty stuff. So, for example, I would love to see something like this in such a position, because you want to essentially, like, let's say this goes out of
It
the way.
wouldn't move. It wouldn't move. It is protected, but I see the
And
point.
the idea is kind of, for example, you want to take here with the Equus. Now, if takes happens, then
I would take
one
the-
remains and this takes this. So I'm not sure whether you would want that.
Ah, yeah. Now that's interesting. That's Tribun in yeah. It's a masterpiece. You sacrifice 3 pieces at first, but now you have a different kind of attacker, assisted by this big brother, and now you can take all the 4. Wow.
But let's say this moves out of the way like this. Still keeping an eye on this one. Well, now you would sacrifice here.
Yeah, you would definitely. What? You are losing a ballista completely. Yeah, but now there's Impero. And this
And then-
is GG. This
Yeah,
is
this
GG.
is a Nax.
This
So-
is... wow. I really didn't see it coming. But from 2 moves away, I saw it, and wow. What a... if you have this in the game... Nice.
Yeah, that
really
would
just
be a neat
nice.
one. So, this is like something you should think about.
And now we
if
have it on
has to-
video. We have this pattern, or
Yeah. So,
yeah,
this would be one idea you should think about when you see this.
yeah,
This is protected, and how can you get rid of the protector so that you can deliver a striking blow, like a finishing blow? But you're a little bit too slow for that,
yeah.
I think. So I assume this one's gonna kick.
Yeah.
You're gonna kick out.
There's the third one. Now we again have 2 attackers here on this tiny little dude,
But
and he's protected, and you will lose a lot of feathers in this attempt.
yeah. So now you kind of go into the middle here.
This file looks juicy for black, I'd say.
Yeah, but there's no neat way to position a ballista on this, right?
Yeah, that's true. And no possibility at the moment. Not
Yeah,
right
you-
away.
You would need to move, like for example, bloop, and go here.
Yeah.
That would be one way, but this would run into some issues. So I
Yeah,
don't
or
think
that way with an Equus directly capitalizing on the diagonal where the
where you
Tribun
do
is.
this, which goes here, and the opponent thinks he's clever and does something about that, and now you are here, and perhaps that could be an idea. But
Yeah, interesting.
so, you just went forward,
Yeah.
and
still keeping this door shut. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a very juicy.
by the way, let's just look on the colors.
It's tense.
This is a neat moment, I think. So you just count. Let's go for black first. These are fighting only for the black colors, so that's already good.
The ant
These
is-
are the same, but they're stronger, so that's even better. But you have two of those. They as explicitly don't fight on black because they're standing on black. If you see like here,
Yeah.
they're only fighting for the other colors.
Mhm.
So the defense goes down a little bit for black if you have one of these. But still, you have a lot of strong defense on black.
Black is okay. White or light colors are okay.
Yeah, and these Sagittarius,
Yeah.
they all fight for white, which is good.
But gray.
And let's look at gray, and you see that there's nothing on gray.
Just these
So only
two.
these two. But this one drags down the defense for gray a little bit.
Yeah. And you see the Sagittarius just looks with one eye on gray. And the other is for
Yeah.
white.
So you have a lot of weaknesses on gray, on the
Yeah.
gray hexagons.
Yeah, that's true.
And so currently you don't have a lot of ways to exploit this. Like you could combine here or here, but this isn't great. So what I would like to see in such a position would be something like that, for example. And then in the future, something like this and this. Oh, well,
Not that. Yeah. Backwards.
because that way you are going for all the gray hexagons and you're hunting the weaknesses. And this is a very solid foundation for like an attack, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you have to keep an eye out for what your opponent does, because
Yeah.
maybe this situation changes completely and then gray is not what you are going for. But
Yeah, also, if you look at the attack possibilities, you have a lot of attack on black. And if you were to go for this exact variation, then you would have basically no defense on black. So that could
Yeah.
go south very quickly. But, just as an insight, like, these are still fighting for black, but this isn't great. You would be run over. But just the idea that you want these two is what I wanted to convey here. So
this was, I think, was very, very educational.
and you see, gray defense is going down because you get another 3 high unit. Well,
And this was a bad move. You see, I do not have a lot of time, and as I placed it and flipped the coin, I saw it, and I was very relieved to see that he didn't capitalize on it. This was a good moment to get an advantage, a decent one.
yeah. By the way, I really don't like this move that was played.
Very passive, right?
Yeah, and this one is very, very important. You usually don't want to move him. So, for example, this is already protected a lot against a 4 high unit. So, I think your opponent thought, well, if takes,
Yeah.
then I only have one defender.
Yeah, but you take 3, and this one blocks.
And so I really don't see any reason why
Yeah.
you would need a little bit more defense.
That's again something that's very educational from my point of view, because if you have a defender that is a little lower than the attackers are, then it's pretty okay, pretty much okay, because you can just harm this attacking unit and block the path for the rest of them.
Yeah, and so this is something I generally would not recommend.
Yeah.
I think only in very specific situations is this something you should do.
And see, there were 2 defenders.
Oh, actually, yeah, so it's even stronger than that.
Okay, now gray becomes very weak, especially
again,
when
because
this is on the same diagonal as the Tribune is.
the 3 high unit is a small weakness. On the color, the 6 high unit is a big weakness. In the same way, a 2 high unit is a small benefit, and a 4 high unit is a big benefit for the color. So now more than ever, you should probably do something on the gray hexagons. For example, this. Because not only are you looking at that, you have also that. Like, the strength of a color also depends on which color the Tribune is on. This would be much better for the gray hexagons, but it's this case. So gray is especially weak here, and this looks very scary.
Yeah, that is. You have to do something about it. And Niels, again, very slow.
Very passive.
But okay, it's okay. He didn't play a lot of games so far, so there's always something to take away. And I guess he's watching us now. And, well, next time he will be even stronger. I'm really afraid.
It's very common that I call it the killer instinct. The goal of the game is to take the enemy Tribune.
Yeah.
So all you should try during the game is take the enemy Tribune. You shouldn't care about the material as much, as long as you have enough to take the enemy Tribune.
Yeah, as you showed in the sequence before, where you basically were sacrificing everything, I mean a ballista, and then coming with this Impero, and the game is over.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So, just that you know, always try to win, because that's like kind of the goal of the game. I know it sounds very obvious if you speak it out loud, but I think this is where it comes down for many beginners.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose, but this is exactly the kind of headspace that makes you lose. If that makes sense.
It really does. Very philosophical.
Yeah. So now you have to do something about this.
I was trying to set up this fork in a way, but see, as he was approaching with the status, he blocked the way to this equistance, so this wasn't as juicy as it was one step before. I did it anyway.
By the way, you could have also, just come to think of it, could have also done something like that to connect them.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because I wouldn't take. It would be from the material standpoint a complete exchange, but 2 pieces on this position remaining. I mean, now he laser beams here.
You have to now move out of the way to here, and
yeah, but you're desperately trying to hang on to this dude, and he's making his way back home. This takes a lot of time, where the enemy can regroup completely and bulldoze you. So that would be a bad move.
Sheesh, some acrobatics here.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
you stepped out of
this
the way.
is
Very
fine.
natural move.
You look here, and now you move
I'm trying to
in,
encroach.
which is fine, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember. So we talked before the game that perhaps here there would have been some possibilities to like kind of get rid of this, as for example doing something like that, or no, even better here. Why do I say even better? Because this defends this, which is attacked a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the other reason is this still protects here, which kind of forms this triangle.
Yeah, that's very, very solid.
You attack this isn't protected, and you open up the gray hexagons, which you can then use to do this in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can hunt the enemy.
Yeah. Coming here.
And if something like, oh no, I think I mixed something up. Yeah, it was like this. If we get into this position where you go here, well,
Nah,
this
that's
is
suicide. He can already stab me from the back.
yeah.
I
So
won't
this
reach far.
so yeah, this is like the most solid way you can probably approach this.
And the kind of like about Niels' position is he is still very, yeah, very solid, very combusted is maybe the wrong word here, but see, it's very, very dense, and my pieces are already scattered. I have these bigger units, so I'm creating more threats to the enemy front line, but at the same time, I'm offering these diagonals already to my Tribune, so...
The thing is, I think what I like about this position so much is you have enough space to combine. So with the combination spaces very efficiently placed, but you don't have excessive space like you have that you cannot use very much. So
Yep.
it's a very efficient position, I think. The only things that can combine very easily are these two. So that's kind of neat. You have a lot of freedom.
When he would have some consecutive moves, getting here, getting there, and bringing death, like this.
Yeah.
Attack and...
Because the grey hexagons are
Weak.
very weak.
Yeah. But maneuvering like this,
Yeah, that's gonna be tricky because your opponent has also a few
and
moves.
this one is very, 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 very important. Otherwise, you could maybe use the front door to deliver this kind of death.
By the way, you know how we go back to say that the grey hexagons are very weak?
Now they became even weaker.
So
Weaker,
the whole
weakest.
game is essentially the grey hexagons being weak and not being exploited, which as an experienced player you see, but as a newcomer you don't, and so that's why we are so repetitive. Because this is like a nice attack, but it ultimately falls if you attack the Tribune on the grey hexagons. So
I'm not really satisfied with my ballistae. Because his grey hexagons are quite solid. I cannot really breach. And this way I cannot maneuver, I have no entry points, and so they are basically useless.
yeah. Well, the
And
ballista
this
also,
move, I don't know. I
it's
mean,
sort of, yeah.
for a beginner, this looks very terrifying. And that's maybe the point why I played it. I have not much time on the clock, so I'm just pressuring and see what happens next. But if you keep cool, there's nothing. Really,
There's no point to this.
this is completely... Just ignore it.
Yeah. There's absolutely nothing this can do. Not even decombine in any meaningful way. I mean, it can decombine, but it just doesn't do anything.
And you could maybe do something like that.
Yeah,
That's
but
already attacking.
Like, I don't think this is so important. You want to keep these as a defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
So I think
You
in this
can completely
you just
focus on
want
something now.
to do something like this again.
Yeah.
And attack this, create grey hexagon aquis, and just go for the kill, right?
Mm.
And also you have this weakness, which is not protected at the moment, which is...
Yeah.
Well, it is protected.
Yeah, interesting enough, yeah.
So...
That's very rare that you have a ballista watching that way.
So...
Oh, I like the music. It's so chilling. Niels already said, well, this music is fine if you play. This is nerve tickling. You see the clock. There is an issue with the clock, I guess, but just ignore it.
So, this is like a little dance to get the ballista out.
Yeah.
I can see why you don't like it there. It is fine there, but, you know, do what you want. You kick out these two, yeah, and...
It danced its way back to another grey hexagon.
Yeah, I really don't see why you always put them on grey. Like...
There was no other choice.
Yeah, but I don't know, I don't see it. Well, you could have placed the other Secretariats like this on this hexagon, then you would have combined them on here.
That's true.
Then you would have switched. So.
And I remember Niels saying, well, this structure here, this is really unnerving because this is particularly useless. But as you said, yeah, well, then change color. Go for the gray fields and then you're in.
Yeah. So now we had an exchange.
Yeah,
And
I'm changing sides.
And now?
Yeah, he is very dense, he is very open, so it's natural move.
I'm gonna say it again. I want to see this.
Yeah.
This just repels the ballista. It protects these hexagons, so at most it can go here. If it wants to stay close to this hexagon. But probably it will go back to where it came from or something.
But you have to make sure that this one is protected if you go for such a tactic. Because there are points saying, well, okay, I'm attacking the Tribune and re-attacking, and if this is not protected, it is, by the way, then I could take it. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, so you would step here and
then it's an exchange.
Well, no.
Or you grab it as an Emperor.
This
now you have a rider with a bow. This is... Ooh!
Because you're threatening stuff like going here and say you go here
and firing arrows left and right. Not the entire unit.
I meant to have this position.
Yeah. And at any point you can say, okay, I'm killing this one and attacking, and you devastate the complete defense line with one rider. This is where Emperor is very powerful.
I want to mention that this would not have happened. It would have been better to re-attack this piece by walking forward. So it wouldn't have been that dramatic. But you could have made this mistake.
Yeah.
What I really don't like, though, is this.
Yeah, that's if we would have an eval bar, this would plummet down at this moment. Yeah. Not only are you committing your Tribune to one color, so basically 2/3 of all the fields are gone for him at the moment. And the next higher unit is a ballista, again committed to one color, or the Centuria. And usually when you're forming the Tribune into a Centuria, you are just protecting. You're not going for the win. So yeah, he can attack me, but this is easy. Yeah, you can re-attack from a very soft spot. It is very just protected by one, but it's enough because the Tribune would die. Yeah. But this is when you are not that experienced, okay? Okay.
So now you get in.
Yeah.
Which also is one of the drawbacks if you combine here. This one gives your opponent the opportunity to change color, which you usually don't want. And yeah, that's annoying, for sure, I think. Now, you can either go back, which I'm not quite a fan of, or you go out, which I also kinda like. You re-attack, but you can do something like this, which this doesn't happen, but we are sure that this is like the best thing you could do.
Probably.
Because now you have a rider on the gray hexagons, and the rider fights against the rider quite well.
Yeah.
Same height, so
Yeah.
it's like punching a mirror. It really hurts. Don't do it.
Yeah, not when you're the Tribune. I did something that's way
Longer.
softer, but already attacking the Tribune, making him do something. Now he's
No.
switching sides.
The way you could win here is go here. Only one move should remain, which should be this.
No, or that.
Or that, indeed, yeah. But I think this is even more obvious that this won't work.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
go here and then...
Yeah, you just need something to take out this field. And
yeah, or you put this and this.
yeah, but
or
you need
something
something for this. So you
something.
and here is okay, but yeah, they
Like, I
are
don't know. You get the point. This wouldn't work, and if you go here, which is the thing I originally wanted to show you,
Mhm.
is you can just go here.
This is ridiculous.
If this, because this doesn't work again, then you just very simply win like that. And it's like,
Yeah,
whatever.
that everywhere.
and like, obviously you should make sure that this works. We're not going to do this now, but we're rather convinced that it...
And this is what happens when you have not much time on the clock. And I was really afraid that now he could hurt me, so I switched the color. Now I am capable of attacking him when the position gives it. And now I have to just plug these fields so he cannot move.
Now, one of the ways you could win is like this.
No.
That would be too easy, so
No.
we're gonna have to sacrifice a few pieces.
Yeah, I'm sacrificing everything.
Then you can still do this.
No, I couldn't, because I would die, because my Tribune is under attack right now.
Oh, actually,
So I have to deal with this issue first. And now
then
he's
you-
again attacking, but forcing me to switch my position. And you see, my Tribune is a man of good deeds. And he says, well, I'll bring it to an end for my men, so that they won't suffer anymore. The war is over.
yeah, this is all protected.
Yeah.
Here, here,
All these fields
Here.
are protected.
here, and attack.
And
And
very,
this is-
very important that this archer says no more combinations in my duty, under my duty.
Otherwise, this would really suck.
Yeah, that would be.
Very-
Just run for it. Not this way.
Now you've
Yeah, now I stole some pieces. Yeah, but you get the point. That would be bad.
yeah, you would probably like run on this hexagon or something, and then everything goes south for you. Everything stops working, and you probably lose. So,
That's true.
but that's not what happened. And instead, I think he gave up. Yeah.
I took my revenge, as I promised. And I'm really excited about what happens next time. By the way, maybe I'll call him later and we play another game. Yeah. And again, a nice piece of music. But we stop it before it's getting more exciting. Well, thanks for your attention this time, and Max and I Carsten, we are going to show you Tribun every Friday, 18 CET. Well, if you like this game, give it a like. That's obvious. Or you just tell your friends. Maybe you find some other players so that we can form a community. It's slowly growing. And maybe one day there will be tournaments and stuff like that. Very interesting. We're very excited about that. Up until this point, that's everything I gotta say. Watch maybe the description with stuff to download, and see you soon.
On Tribun.